Actually, we met randomly. We are working theater together, and it was sometime in October. We hadn't known each other before.
Yeah, it was kind of surprising because I never knew I would meet a teacher that is diabetic just like me.
Well, it was a long time ago when it started. For me, it was February 1985 when I got flu.
For me, it was when I was 7 years old. I got flu too, and then I started having symptoms. So I had a weight loss, and I was exhausted all the time, but I couldn't sleep, and I would drink a lot, and my parents would say I couldn't drink so much, so I would hide myself.
Well, my mom noticed something was not going well, but she didn't think it was that important. Later, in August 1985, I was almost 12 years old. She took me to a doctor for the blood test, and well, I was diagnosed diabetes type 1. Taken to hospital for 2 weeks to start the treatment, and then start a new life with new disease. That was a challenge.
And for me, it was hard when I got diabetes because my parents were really worried. It was really hard for my father to make my injections because, you know, it's putting a sting in your own daughter is not funny. And I guess it's the same for every close person we had. It was really hard for both them and us.
For me, I was so scared of needles that I was not able to inject myself. So my mom and my dad had to be trained on how to do it for me. It took me 2 years to do it myself finally. Well, it was not always that easy when we were diagnosed with diabetes 1. We have to explain what diabetes 1 is because we're talking about that.
So diabetes type 1 is when the body attacks a hormone called insulin, which regulates its sugar level. So without the insulin, your body would just stuck the sugar in you, and it wouldn't go away. So you would just be refrigerated like with your sugar, and it can lead to blindness, it can lead to amputations, and so on.
On the other hand, type 2 diabetes is different. You can see it mainly in older people, usually due to obesity. They can be diagnosed based on different symptoms like problems with eyesight or high blood pressure or heart problems. And it is sometimes more dangerous than diabetes type 1. Another one is gestational diabetes that can occur during pregnancy, but doesn't mean that it has to stay.
So there is a few technology that we use every day. So the first one is for injecting our insulin, so the one that our body cannot create. So Katarína has the pump with her. And
Yeah,
for
you
myself,
can see it on the other picture.
For myself, I have the pen. It really looks like a pen, and it really doesn't hurt. It's really, this medicine is way better than it was when Katarína first was diabetic.
Yeah, back to those times we had to use syringe that was reused now and then. It had to be boiled to become sterile again. Later we had insulin injections. That was something better finally, and moved to insulin pen, and now I have had my insulin pump for 8 years. And it's working much better than the other ones. Well, to know how to treat diabetes, this is not the only thing. We also need to measure our glycemia.
So this was one of the old appareils. It used to be like that, and it was really easy. But nowadays, since 2 years, there's this new technology that I have with me, but you can't really see it. So this is just how it works. And now you have my glycemia. And this is really easy for me now to take my glycemia. I don't have to wait so much, and I know if I'm going higher or lower, so I can balance my body.
Yeah, for me it was very funny when I was a kid in mid-80s in Slovakia, socialist country. The treatment was very interesting. Sometimes you felt like in laboratory to work on a kind of project. So I could not really know how high my blood sugar was because I didn't have a glucometer and I didn't have a chance to measure it regularly. The only things I could do was a very strict diet and exercising. That was really the only those things that helped to balance my sugar somehow. Well, living with diabetes was not always very much fun. Sometimes you get reactions from people. They didn't know how to treat you. And since I was only 12, at the beginning of the new school year in 1985, they didn't know how to handle. People were scared, so they better avoided me. They talked behind my backs. The teachers were afraid to take me to trips, so I was excluded. It was not very happy, but still we had to live these lives somehow. Later, it became better. I started traveling. I felt more independent, and I felt more accepted by other people. So that was a very big moment for me. You can see a picture from a camp that I was when I was 21 in Sweden. It was a summer international summer village for kids of age 11.
I am very young, so I haven't done much. The further I've been is to Canada, and it was really stressing for me because I knew I would be alone without any close one who could take care of me if anything wrong happened. So I'm here, nothing wrong happened, and it was a really fun time. But there's other time where it's really not the same things. For example, just yesterday I had a big hypoglycemia and we had classes, and just because we had classes or whatever, my friends wouldn't come with me to take some sugar to the cafeteria, which was in the other side of the school. So I had to go by myself. And when I came to see them after, they just didn't wanted to do 2 meters to to come closer to the chair I was sitting on. So I just left because I was crying. I was in a very bad mood because of the hypoglycemia.
Well, I also had a moment a long time ago when I needed help. I was hypoglycemic. It means my blood sugar really dropped down, and at that time you need other people. Sometimes we are very weak and we cannot really take care of ourselves. The first aid is sugar or glucose or a kind of liquid drink with sugar or glucose. And I needed sugar desperately. That person who was very close to me just gave me the sugar and a spoon because the only thing I could think about at that time was to put sugar on a spoon, to eat it and to drink a bit of water to get better. But I was pouring sugar on a spoon and it was messing around, and the person shouted at me like, "What are you doing? You're making mess around you. Can't you see?" And I was not able to even react. I started laughing because when you're hypoglycemic, your symptoms are very strange. You shake all over, your hands are not steady, you're very pale, you have blurred vision, you cannot really think logically. And there are many other symptoms, so you need people, you depend on other people.
That is true. um, after that,
Yeah.
after that, we want to talk a little bit about numbers. So this graph is from 2013. So the numbers are even higher today. There is more than 400 million people diagnosed diabetic, and some of them are still undiagnosed. It's really alarming because they expect that in a few years only the number will double. So it's really important to now take care of others who have the disease because it might happen to you, it might happen to one of your family, it might happen to a close one. And if you're not there for them, then it's useless.
Yeah, I would like to get back to the picture because I would like to mention something. You know, every woman can have a baby, probably. But for diabetic women, it's always very sensitive period. And it happened to me. I was very happy. And all 9 months were just smoothly. And then I gave a birth to healthy baby, my daughter. So I was very proud, become very proud mother that I managed despite of diabetes type 1. I was taken care of. And well, when people support you, you can really do whatever you want. It's a very nice challenge in life.
So what you can do after is to be more healthy, take care of yourself, not getting diabetes type 2, and also be there for those who need you, because they'll be there for you back.
Yeah, like friends. The people to support you, usually it's family. You can see my family on the other side. Sometimes they are friends or people that know you. Please let them know that you are there for them, care about them, be more empathic. Try to put yourself in their shoes. We do the same for people. We really care about people and friends. You never know, one day your partner might be diabetic, and then you will know how to take care of him or her.
Thank you.
Thank you.